It has been 5 years, I believe, since my last upload. Initially, I was just trying to kind of document my entry into building a drift car from the ground up, pretty much, and then going into that with my first drift events and that sort of thing. So it's been a couple years, basically because that project I was trying to do kind of led into like a dead end. I ended up not ever even completing that thing. It just had too much that needed done to it. It was a completely bare shell. I mean, I would have had to have done a lot, and at the time I did not know what I was doing for the most part. I did have automotive experience, but not that much experience. Not for converting and swapping and this and that. I think the initial plan was to put a 4.3 Chevy Vortec V6 in it with God knows whatever transmission would fit with it, which, there's a lot of options. But either way, the point being, that would have been a huge project, and I really didn't know what I was doing to begin with. So what ended up happening, the Infinity that I used to have as a daily, that is my current drift car. Let's see, about 2 years ago in July, so about 2020, I still had the BMW project, and I was still planning to do stuff to it. And out of nowhere, I was driving to my friend's house, and I got into a fender bender. Well, it was like no real damage to my car besides just the front quarter panel, or front fender, I should say. And in that, it was of course the other person's fault. They basically came across a couple, like 2 lanes to like get into where I was parked and like hit my car, like just obliviously like hit my car. So of course I was graciously awarded insurance money for the damages. So I bought a fender for $150. I rattle canned it like the other side, and then from there I used the $2,200 to build the car. And by build the car, I actually did a CDO1 transmission swap, so it's the factory trans that would have come in that car. Of course, the CDO series, that's the factory Nissan transmission from the Z's and G's all the way up through the current. I actually think the new Nissan Z actually has the same trans. It's a CDO, I think it's a CDO like pound sign or something. It's basically the next iteration of it. But either way, everything in it bolted up easy. Basically just unplugged the transmission harness for the automatic, and then did minor modifications. Basically the passenger side footwell where the parking brake is, you just had to like cut that out and make room for the actual clutch pedal. Just ran the slave cylinder, and I mean everything, the line, everything mounted up fine. I mean there was literally no issues with it. Initially I was running the factory drive shaft, and I upgraded to the, well, I guess you could say upgraded. I got a used junkyard manual drive shaft, so that way it was all supposed to be in the vehicle. So that was the first year of drifting. I didn't even have a handbrake set up. It was really horrible. On tane lowering coilovers, alignment specs were God knows what. At least the tires were straight. The camber was probably all out, God knows where. No seat. I just had a factory seat, and it was actually too high for me. So when I was driving it, I just had to like lean back, and like with the helmet, I was like driving like this. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. So of course, I put a lot of time in my sim over here. As you see, I actually upgraded one with a handbrake and that sort of thing. But I spent a lot of time on the sim as well. Tried to get as good as I could. And actually, I was playing the sim pretty early on. I caught on to that in about 2016. So I've actually been sim driving for a while. And then I just roughly upgraded with better stuff, and I've got a movable stand now for it, and now I actually have VR as well. But all that to say, the first year of drifting was not ideal. I was definitely learning. I was getting better, more confident. Mostly just learning the weight transfer of the vehicle. And I will say, because I had a sim and sim progress beforehand, I actually went out my first event, was able to link. I drive on a big oval track, and I was able to hit the corner and hold drift and actually be able to correct and not crash, and then straighten out in the straight and then go back and initiate the other way. I was actually able to drift the car, which was absolutely crazy in my mind. And I was like, wow, this really shows how important it is to actually have a sim, especially on a track with a decent sized oval and a big wall. I mean, that's not an ideal place to start, to be honest. So the next year last year, 2021, I went to full ISR suspension, so ISR rear, replaced the coilovers with ISR as well. So the rear suspension usually has a spring bucket and a shock. I replaced that with the coilover, so now I have all three arms in the back that are adjustable. So I'm a real snob about alignment and making sure everything's perfect, because I do work in an automotive shop. So basically the alignment specs I try to get dialed in. They're all like perfect. So my tire wear, when you run them off now, they're like smooth. And unless I'm on a track with a bank, then you get a little bit of outside edge wear, but that's that's just normal. So I also have a GK Tech dual caliper handbrake with factory just regular rear calipers, non-Brembo package, just the normal stuff. So did a lot of work with that. I just got a set of NRG seats. They've been working pretty well. Trying to think. I did blow an engine about three months ago, maybe a little bit more. So it's now got like a 90 to 100,000-ish mile engine in it. Same thing, VQ, all the same. And then I had installed a stage 2 clutch with the trans swap, and then I just blew the clutch out like 2 weeks ago, so I just swapped that over. That would have been a nice video to film, but now it has a eBay like Clutch Max stage 3 like multi-puck clutch, which actually feels pretty nice. I thought it was going to be a lot more aggressive, but actually like it quite a bit. So anyway, that's just kind of a rundown on it. I live in Tampa, so I drift over and a couple different places in the local area. I'll usually trailer the car to like OSW, Palm Beach International before, RIP Palm Beach International, before they decided to build a Walmart distribution center there. And then my main track is going to be Showtime Speedway, which is over in Pinellas Park, close to like Clearwater or St. Pete, Florida. And then next week, there's actually an event at Sebring for US Drift Circuit. So I'm going to go there and hopefully have a good time. But just a little information there. So this event, I'm filming this the day after. It was a lot of fun. We had a horrible storm like on the way to the event. I didn't even know it was supposed to rain at all. I didn't check the weather or anything. That would have been probably a really good idea beforehand. So we get there and it's just soaked, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, because the last event, starting out was the same way. Had a nice little rain beforehand, and I'm getting used to driving in the rain. It's definitely something that is actually a lot of fun to do, but you have to give it like no throttle. I mean, it's literally just tap, hold a little bit, tap, tap. I mean, and you have to be very, it's like worse than drifting on ice. I feel like drifting on ice would be easier than drifting in the rain. I mean, that sounds stupid, but it's so slippery. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, it's a lot of fun once you you get a couple laps in. I think my second lap I was starting to like really throw some angle at it. I think I did get some footage of that too. But basically had a really good time, and my reason for actually starting this channel up again, of course, I really want to progress as far as just driving in general. I mean, I don't know where that's going to take me, but I want to, let's say, expand my program and expand just social media presence too. I mean, that's always kind of a cool thing. Plus just documenting stuff. It's cool to have I can go back and watch these videos. I mean, I've got all the videos from years ago still on the channel, and I'll probably always leave those up no matter what. So I just think it's kind of cool to just document having fun with my friends and family. So it's a very cool event. The thing I was going to say, I'm testing out a camera that I actually just purchased. So actually, one of the main things that got me, going back in this channel, I got like $100 Akaso VX50, I think is what it's called. It's just like it's basically a GoPro Hero 8 knockoff, but you can get them on Amazon. I got it for like $100, and it comes with like 2 mounts that are like sticky, and then it also comes with a whole bunch of other stuff. 2 batteries, and they actually lasted quite a while. I think the whole event I went through a battery and a half maybe, but I mounted one behind the passenger compartment. It's on the windshield, on the back windshield. It's actually stuck to the back windshield, so it's actually giving a behind shot of the driver and passenger seats, and you can actually see out the front. I know in the videos it's going to be a little hard in the daytime to see it, but once it turns night you can really see the track. There's not as much glare from all the rain on the track. And then the other place I mounted it was right near the right rear spoiler. It's like looking over the right shoulder of the car, if you want to say that. It actually gave some pretty interesting stuff. Just to forewarn you, I did, unfortunately, I have a couple issues just getting the camera going because I didn't realize that I didn't have the mic working. So the first couple videos don't have any sound, so I might have to see about putting some generic noise over that. But also I did break some parts and have to replace them at the track, so that'll be in there too. But anyway, that's the intro, and wow, my screensaver just shut off. Look at that. Good timing. Yeah, we are out here having an absolute blast. Give a little, yeah, there you go. Track was like soaked earlier. Then it got real patchy and was not fun, and now it is really dry and really grippy. So grippy and fast. So let's see what happens. So before the event, I was having an issue with this coming loose. So basically what this is the ball joint itself. I've had this come off before, so I had like a washer in there, but every so often there's actually play. And I just tightened that up like 2 runs ago. It's kind of sketching me out. I probably have to replace that before the next event. And then also, I do have that little guy that is bent. I knew that before the event. I actually hammered it out so it was straighter, but it looks like it's bent back in. And yeah, it's mostly because I found out that before the event I really didn't care that much. So it's always fun when you drive 35 minutes to an event on a bent tie rod. But I'm going to adjust that out to get me back to where the toe should be. For the most part, I need to tighten this up too. It's already kind of scored up. Basically, I'm going to have to take some, I'm just going to take a pipe wrench here just to get this thing as tight as I can. But yeah, we might need a new ball joint before next week. Alright, this is going to be our track spec alignment here. Alright, so that is a lot better than it was. I know it's hard to see the angle on the actual screen here, but like I said, it's a little bit more straight before it was towed out, so the wheels were actually scrubbing on the inside, on this side. That is an abomination and an atrocity. I'm sorry, do not do this. This will destroy your life. But I'm about to chuck the car at the wall as fast as I can. So here we go. right, so that's with the wheel pointing straight, so it should be a little bit more here. So there's a little bit of play there. So yeah, probably done for the night at that point. Definitely need a new ball joint there. Look at how much more bent that is. So basically when I went to go initiate, I threw it in nice and got like actually some pretty good angle. So the left tire was going to the left and the right tire was going to the left and then cut back to the right because that tire decided to flex. So I do have a spare one. We'll see. I might pop it on real fast, at least just to drive home. We'll see. We'll see. Alrighty, well, all in all, I'd say it's a pretty successful event. Anytime I can practice driving in the rain is always good in my opinion. Was able to throw down some really good runs. And then, of course, driving on a tie rod that's already bent, you're kind of just asking for trouble. So whenever I threw it in, the tie rod decided to just bend more and send the right wheel out to the right as I was trying to go left. And left rear wheel was the right direction. So didn't really help out much. I pretty much gripped up immediately, and I actually thought that I broke the tie rod. That's how bad it was. So either way, got about a 30-minute drive home, and got to refresh the car for next weekend.